My cousin and I emerge from high canopy in the midst of low underbrush. It almost hides the old logging road we followed to get here. From the somewhat cooler shade of the woods, we ride our bikes into bright sunshine and stop to let our eyes adjust. This is the far point of Roland Johnson's backyard. Even in this southern summer afternoon, everything feels frozen. No birds are singing or even winging their way overhead through the still air. We are stopped near a pond, but no frog plunks into the murky waters in panic to hide among the cattails. Time, like the humidity around us, hangs heavy with anticipation. This is 1967, and we are nearly 14 years old, brave, and determined to witness evil's aftermath. How could a man snuff out the lives of his family? I'm curious to see if that abandoned old house ahead weeps for its murdered family members. Already the yard yields to thick clumps of soaring sagegrass, making further pedaling impossible. We let our bikes fall over and walk toward the rundown cottage, homing in on the nearest porthole, a small window near the back. Blocking my view inside the house are the runners of a thorny rose bush. It's thick with buds tinged red, but not yet popped. I'm determined to peek through the window pane, guarded by these red running roses. I cautiously pull a branch to one side and hold it there, cupping my free hand over my eyebrows to lean forward for a look-see. A wooden high chair is pulled up to the chrome edge of a Formica dining table. The top of that formerly lustrous table looks more like aged lacquer than a color that once may have been a sunny yellow. 4 small, mismatched bowls cling to their faint reflections in the faded shine of the tabletop. The bowls wait, with spoons inside, handles askew. For oatmeal, I think, for I see the cardboard container of Quaker oats atop a battered preparation counter supported by thin legs, leaning against a rusted cook stove. Oats, either rolled or wild, seem to have been the only offerings that sunrise on April Fool's Day, the day this house abruptly became unoccupied. Pieces of a broken glass are scattered across the floor, perhaps the gift dug out of that box of oats. I whisper, pointing out the shards by the old table, waiting forever for its people to gather. Something like a cold breath touches the back of my neck and feathers out like the frost on a window pane, or like the kiss of death. It startles me, and the rosebush springs back, hiding again that haunting vignette. We dart toward the front door, but stop to crane our necks and peek around the corner. A porch runs the length of the house. Halfway down those creaky boards, we find the front door standing ajar. 2 steps, maybe 3, before we see blood on the living room floor, or the stain of it, which has seeped into the bare floorboards. A dark, deep, still pool that just weeks ago flowed freely, ballooning like storm clouds, billowing across the floor in appalling arcs. Blood flows plenty during hog butchering time every fall, but this is the blood of my neighbors, living, dying, half a mile from our farm. To steady myself, I look into my cousin's face. Terror I see there, his and mine, for reflected in his eyes, maybe he sees it in mine too. Others are staring back at us. We scramble out, hot-footing it back to our bikes, and are well into the woods before I can breathe easily again. A dozen hours later, my eyes open to the soft, angled light of a new morning. I fought heavy eyelids last night, envisioning the prospect of nightmares after my day's events. But I remember dreaming only of sun-drenched, red-running roses in full bloom.